today I'm going to be diving into the world of electric. Everyone is talking about electric cars and nobody is talking about mowers. Last year alone, the UK market generated 1.4 billion in sales in the ground care industry. But don't worry, I'm not getting rid of it just yet. So this is a twin-cylinder Kawasaki petrol engine mower. If you buy something like this, you're talking £6,000 odd, and you've got your regular servicing, 200 quid a year. You've got belts, blades, and just general maintenance really. Not much to go wrong on something like this. Yes, you've got gearbox and engine and things like that, but the petrol engines are pretty good. If you maintain them, you shouldn't really have much trouble. But going forward, we're now seeing these electric ride-ons hit the market. So I happen to know somebody who's got one. So let's go and have a look. And this is basically the new version of ride-ons that's coming into the market. So this is a 900E Stiga with an underslung deck. And this is fully electric. So from first glance, you know, just looking at it, it's definitely a cool bit of kit. It's borderline a zero-turn mower. You're operating it with a joystick. So the plan is, let's just see how well it cuts. So we've got a bit of grass here to cut. The owner of the caravan park's kindly let me come on and have a look, and we're doing a bit of a comparison. He's had this for 12 months. Yeah, so let's give it a mow and let's see how well we get on. We'll have do a bit of mowing and work it back. But on first glance, it is a good bit of kit. You know, when you're looking at it from there, the only thing that different I can see straight away is motors. So under here where we'd have belts, usually you've got 3 individual motors that are running the blades, and you've got one main motor which is then running the back axle, if you like, and it is a fully autonomous. It's like fully, not autonomous, fully electric. So yeah, let's go and do a bit of mowing. Right, so yeah, we've just had a quick go up and down mowing, as you can see in that bit there, and we're here with the owner of this machine. He's had it for roughly around 12 months now, so we're just going to have a bit of a chat and see what his thoughts are on owning an electric mower. So Andy, how's it been for you?
It's the future, isn't it?
Well, I'm yet to believe that, but it's interesting to see it go.
Cars are going that way, these have got to go that way. There's so many advantages. You run a business where you want noise to be minimum, and that's a lot quieter. You want running costs to be low because everything costs more money, and that's a couple of quid a day to run. I mean, from that point of view, it's very good. You know, I think it's early days, and I think we will. You know, we have had teething problems, but Stiga have been good. They've backed up their product. I think it's definitely the way we'll be going. I can't see us having fewer electric machines. All our hand tools, all our trimmers and everything are now electric.
Yeah, I like the electric hand tool side. Two-stroke and the starting problems that you used to have with two-stroke stuff, it's a nightmare. 15
years ago, you wouldn't have bought an electric trimmer because they were rubbish.
Yeah,
and
this is true.
And so there's a time and a place for everything, and the time is probably nearly now.
So you think it's ready, or is it? Because it's 12 months in now.
That thing runs from 9 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon on a charge, with 40 minutes to top up at lunchtime.
See, it's doing everything that you need it to do in this application.
Yeah, and we're a challenging park, so we've got hills and adverse slopes and all sorts of things going on. And it isn't the only machine we use. I mean, it doesn't cut everywhere, but it'll do 70%, and it does it quietly and in a cost-efficient way.
See, so for someone like you, it's ideal. You're on this nice, peaceful caravan park. You've got this thing just zooming along quietly, not making a racket, not disturbing your customers, you're not disturbing people on the park, and it's effortlessly doing it. As you see, we've done some mowing up there, and
it's fun to drive.
It is fun to drive. I will not knock it that. It is. It's different to what I've ever experienced before. I've never experienced the fully electric, and it's just so quiet. That's the thing I like about it. It is so quiet.
The ergonomics of that are amazing.
It is. It's quite nice, actually. It is quite nice. But
it's nicer than you expect it to be.
I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, in all fairness. It is a good machine. It does look very futuristic as well.
It looks slightly bizarre. I mean, I think they've styled it quite well, but When you're sat on that seat and you're driving around, it's a really good position. It feels very safe. It's quite wide at the back end, so it's, you know, it feels very stable when you're driving it. The cut finish is very good.
Yeah, well, as we've just done some cutting then, and you can see it cuts really well, and you can see how nice it is here on the park.
And it's got the hose lock cleaning system on the deck, so the deck's easy to clean. It takes a couple of minutes at the end of the day, plug it in to a hose pipe, start the blades, spin them for a minute so, and then you're done.
See, that's an issue that I've never thought about. How would you get on with that, with the water and electric mix? Never had an issue with anything like that.
It's sealed.
And you've got no belts. You've got no oil changes to be done. There's a lot for it on the servicing side you think that you can get away from the things. Well, as I know quite well, I've been doing it all week last week, changing belts on mowers, and they can be a right pain.
Yeah.
I spoke to one of the reps actually about this a couple of days ago, and he was telling me it's got auto safety cut-off switches. So I was talking to him about belts and this, that, and the other, and he said the idea with these are that if you try to make it do something it doesn't want to do, it just won't let you. Where a petrol machine, you can just have anyone on it and just roar it through heavy grass,
press harder,
and kill the machine. You know, where this thing should say no. You know, you're doing something way out of its capability.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, fair play. So you'd have one again, no brainer.
I don't think we'll move away from it. I think whether we have one of those or whether we have an electric Park Pro, which Stiga are bringing out, I don't know. And you know, we work with our local dealer to make sure that we get the right machine for us. With that one, that's the first electric machine we've seen. I know Husky do one, but you know, we like Stiga, and Fluid Ag sell Stiga, and it's good. It's a good machine.
Well, yeah, you've got Stiga parks here, haven't you? And you've used Stiga for many years.
20 years, yeah.
Yeah, 20 years, and you've never really had issues with them in that sense. But I don't know. I'm just still not convinced. But you've talked about the finances behind it. You know, the running costs, and being able to reduce that cost as a business is obviously huge for you. You know, you've got to get those costs down to a minimal, especially.
You just want to drive something that's enjoyable.
No, that is true.
That does make you smile.
It does.
You know, it doesn't. It's not like driving anything I've ever driven. It's not like driving even another zero turn.
No, I've never seen another mower using that joystick control, and I think Stiga are leading the way with that. And I do like that compared to a zero turn. A conventional zero turn can be quite tricky if you're not quite sure. Where that was very user friendly. I feel I could get on that and just operate it. Yeah, you know,
if we were training you, we'd start you on this field. You'd do the field, and then we'd send you to another easy bit, and then you'd be away.
Yeah,
because you'd have learnt it all.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So we just mentioned about, have you had any issues with it since you've had it then, Andy? You know, even teething problems or things that you think
we've had some issues with batteries with it, but between Fluid Ag and Stiga, that's all been resolved and sorted. I mean, they got to a point they have actually swapped the machine out, but then we had a really early machine, so you've got to expect problems with machines that are early. And actually, it says everything about the supplier and our supplier and the manufacturer if they're prepared to go that far and give you a different machine to keep you going with it. And we think it's great. It's a really good machine, and it's backed up by, because that's the thing, is that you spend all this money on a piece of kit. It's not like you order it from Temu. It comes, you've got no backup, no support, you're on your own. You want to buy something and know that if there's a problem, you're on the phone and you say there's this, and they go, we'll sort it out, we'll pick it up and sort it, and it'll be done. And that's actually what we've experienced with that. It's been grand.
Yeah, so as you're saying, so yes, you're very early in the market there. I don't know anybody else who owns an electric ride-on.
What's that say about us?
I don't know anything else, but as you can see there, teething problems, the future. This is, like you say, the first one you had is a low serial number. It's probably one of the very first ones coming off the production line. Now you've got something slightly newer but the same model. Mm-hmm. But you think 2 to 3 years' time, with a few tweaking and this, that and the other, you think...
It's been a brainer. They're probably not even that long. I mean... So we've had Stigas for 20 years, and we've seen their products change and improve every 2 years or something like that. You know, we change our machines quite regularly, and every time we come, there's something that was annoying us in the previous machine. Early machines used to break the throttle cables because they were a solid cable. Used to break them all the time. Used to keep them in stock. They've designed that out. Early machines had chains to do the centre steer. They're now on pistons. You know, everything seems to move with them, and they always seem to push their product. And I don't doubt that they'll be sorting that out. And if they do the electric Park Pro, which I believe is coming out next year, that's the 4-wheel drive centre steer thing. I reckon they'll smash it. because they've already tested the battery technology.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, this has been used.
Batteries are batteries.
Yeah, you're using this to test technology. But would you have another one of these, or would you go Park Pro to what you're used to for all the park?
It's difficult to know because actually the Park Pros are twice the price.
Right. Okay. Is that because that's a commercial machine in the sense that
that's
the borderline?
Commercial. I have no idea. I mean, I guess it's four-wheel drive. There's lots more going on with it. But then I think probably, the petrol, they're probably not much more expensive than the petrol ones when I think about it, and they're expensive. So, and we've got one of those. So when that petrol one goes up, then maybe it's time to change to all electric. Certainly where I want to be is all electric. Environmentally, cost, noise, maintenance. And I'm even guessing, from a health and safety point of view, there's less things on that to catch your fingers in.
No, this is very true. Yeah, you've got no spinning parts, really. You've got no decks. There's no belts and pulleys to get your hand in and get yourself caught up in.
There's no motor. There's no hot bits, so you're not got an exhaust.
Yeah.
You've got nothing. So hot exhausts into garages, hot exhausts, around dry grass.
Yeah, this is very true. This is very true. And you've got the fuel costs. Fuel costs are going up all the time, and it's getting to a point now where there is a shift coming that people are...
Yeah, and we've always been advised to run our mowers on the more expensive premium unleaded.
Which is the way forward.
Which is more expensive again.
Yeah, so it's more expensive. But you don't have those sort of starting issues and carbs clogging up and things like that. But like you say, you've got none of that with this. You've literally just got...
But it seems to catch less grass, so there seems to be less places for clippings to get stuck. So like when you're cleaning your other machines, you look underneath, there's always places. There doesn't seem to be anything under there.
No, and I've never really looked at it.
You can see daylight from here.
But you can literally straight through. You've not got a big gearbox in there. You haven't got nooks and crannies for all the grass to get lost in.
No chains, no belts, no pistons, no nothing. It's fly-by-wire.
And it works.
And it works.
And it works. It is the future.
And that's their first iteration. That's their first go at it. Well, no, it's not actually. I believe they did have a go at Park Pro a few years ago, because I know someone that's got one and they love it. But it wouldn't work here because it didn't have the capacity, it didn't have the endurance to run for the time that we needed it to run. But really, that's their first commercial mower. So what's the next one going to be like? It's going to be brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, like you say, they're always improving, aren't they? And going from the battery side, I think a lot of people watching this are going to still be hung up on that battery. As everyone is at the moment, batteries, it's this big, everyone's hung up on this battery thing. And I think as soon as that confidence builds and more people start trusting in batteries, as we spoke about the other day, everyone's using Milwaukee's now, everyone's using, you'd never go back to a cordless drill. But this sort of stuff, I find when it starts to scale, that's when people seem to start getting worried. Yes, if a battery fails on your Milwaukee, it's 50 quid. If it's on that, it's going to be a couple of grand. But
maybe the future is actually to lease these like we do cars, because I drive an electric car, which I lease because I don't want to own a battery.
Yeah, from someone who's electric mad.
And actually, my cars, there's stories of people doing 150, 200,000 miles and the batteries are still good. So why am I worried?
Why are you worried?
Of the media and all the other nonsense, the rumour mill that you hear that tells you that these things go wrong. So, but maybe that's the future. We lease them.
See, there you go. That might be the way forward, like you say. And then you know what you're going to pay every year. You're not going to be worried about a resale value because you won't be selling it because it'll be leasing it and go back, and you'll go on. Because from
over 3 years, get them gone and get a new one in. Sounds like an ideal plan to me.
Yeah, I think if that option come about, I think you'd be the first to jump on that and think, well, that's it. That's my worry away from having any sort of resale or worried about anything. It'll be somebody else's problem. We know what we're paying each month, and we get this machine. It does the job, and we all go away happy. And 3 years' time, you get a new machine. And shake Andy's hand there. Thanks for letting me come down and having a play on his new mower. And so we'll end that there. Thanks very much, Andy. Cheers. Right, so I'll be honest. When I initially looked at these electric rider mowers, I wasn't convinced and I was sat on the fence. After using one and seeing what it's capable of and looking at the battery life and how long it's lasting, I think I'm a bit swayed the other way actually. I actually quite like the idea, and I think you're going to see more of them come into the market and more people starting to use them. When you compare the fuel cost against the electric charging costs, in about 3 years, the things would have paid for itself. The money you're going to save in fuel is going to well outweigh the cost of the mower itself. I think it's going to get to a point where more people are going to start buying these things, and as soon as you've had one and used one, I think you're going to go, well, I'm never going back to a petrol one again. You've got no starting problems, you've got no belts and pulleys, you haven't got any of the servicing that you get with a petrol machine, you haven't got the noise, you haven't got the pollution. There's so much going for it, but the market itself at the moment just isn't quite ready for them. I think a lot of people are still sat on the fence like I was. I think if more people start to have one and start to use one, I think more people are going to sway to electric than petrol, and that's from someone who is an avid petrol. I've always stuck behind a petrol or a diesel mower. But from what I've seen in this video and what I've noticed, I think more people are going to start buying them as soon as they've had a chance to have one. Right, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Would you buy one, or would you consider buying one? And thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.